All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Dave here on the Harmless Dave channel, talking about real music and doing it in real time for a few real people out here, just like you and just like me. So, spoiler alert for 2025. I've already mentioned a few times that I'm going to be doing some content that has more to do with my own faith in God and the things that I care about and the music that I like to listen to these days. And I'm going to talk about my favorite song of 2024. Since we're wrapping up the year, I'm going to talk about the song that sticks in my head the most and why I think it's a great song and the people involved with that song and why they're having an impact, like a huge impact on the Christian music world. Now, before I get there, here's a group I saw, I don't know, about 6, 7 weeks ago now. Selah, their album Higher Name. This is a great vocal group. If you have never heard of Selah, you should check them out. It's just phenomenal. And this is all new material. The band was totally in form the night I saw them at the First Presbyterian Church in beautiful Bonita Springs, Florida. So a very nice church, by the way. To host a great concert like that, you've got to be a pretty good church. So kudos to that church. But I do want to talk about my favorite song of 2024. Now, this song spent 20 weeks at number one on Billboard's streaming, airplay, and sales-based Hot Christian Songs chart. That's really impressive, all right? And features the incredible vocal talents of Chandler Moore, Chris Brown, and Brandon Lake. By the way, all three of those guys outsing pretty much anybody in the pop music world. Just my humble opinion about it. Or they're on par with anybody you can think of who has an impressive voice. And I'm also talking about singers both past and present. I mean, these guys are phenomenal. Brandon Lake right now is just on fire. Chris Brown isn't too far behind him. And Chandler Moore, I mean, you want to talk about soul, Chandler Moore, the dude is just insane. Now, 20 weeks at number one. What's the song I'm talking about? Well, the song is called Praise. And if you really want to feel praise in the way it's supposed to be felt, you should go listen to the version they do with the Elevation Choir. Holy crap, Batman. I mean, it's old church, it's new church, it's contemporary, it's classic, it's all of the above, and a moving experience too. Now, the song, in case you care about, this was co-authored by Chris Brown, Brandon Lake, Chandler Moore, as well as Pat Barrett, who is really big on firm foundations. Was it Build My Life, I think it's called. Pat Barrett, huge song. Cody Carnes, who's also a big deal these days, and Pastor Stephen Furtick, who I guess writes songs with these guys. It's their 9th song to have dominated the Hot Christian Songs for 20 weeks or longer over the survey's 21-year history. When the song first hit number one in March, Chris Brown told Billboard, "We're blown away by what God has done with praise, and we're thankful for everyone who has streamed, tuned in, and shared the song. We hope it is a great reminder of all the reasons to praise God, not just for what he's done, but for who he is." That's pretty amazing. So, again, didn't break a record or anything like that, but what's great about this song is if you've got kids in the car or you're feeling a little down and out and you want a little boost, again, I would suggest going over and listening to the Elevation Choir version of this song, which was released actually in 2023. And it took a little while. You know, in the Christian world, it's weird because a lot of these churches will put out music, and eventually what happens is the people start to speak. And how do they speak? They speak by streaming these songs. And then sometimes radio will follow suit after a while. They'll get this bright idea like, hey, I think there's a lot of people listening to this song online. Maybe we should play it on the radio. And they do. And tell you what, Elevation, that is a force. That is a force. I'm not talking about the church itself. I don't know that much about the church, but the music that they put forth is mostly amazing. All right. Some of it's a little, predictable and maybe cookie cutter in nature. But man, when you've got singers like Chris Brown and Chandler Moore and Brandon Lake, I mean, I'm sorry. Just those guys are just top tier. Those guys are goats. All right? They're goats, as are these three. These guys are goats too. And this lady, two guys and a lady, completely different style from Elevation. Look, the good thing about Elevation too is you can kind of rock out to it. Definitely. There's real musical instruments being used during the production of these songs, and the singers are just phenomenal. So anyway, my number one song for the year 2024. And if you don't feel like praising after that, I don't know what else can do the trick. Happy New Year, everybody.